So originally I wanted to make this video into a day in the life of a medical student type of vlog. I wanted to show you guys what my day is like, especially during COVID-19. But because I'm running late and also because of the pandemic and because I have a half day in the hospital, I'm probably not going to be able to do a complete vlog. So, you know, sorry about that. I am going to be having an educational component to this video where I'm going to be talking about how I went from being a C student to getting into medical school and becoming a medical student. So if you want to watch that part, just go to this timestamp in the video and you can start from there. But if you want to see the rest of the video, the small vlog that I've included, just stay watching. Also, if you can subscribe to my channel, I'd really appreciate it because your support really means a lot to me. So with that being said, I gotta get going because otherwise I'm gonna be late and the attending I work with might get pissed off. He's actually a really nice guy, really sweet guy. But you know, I don't want him to be mad at me for no reason. Alright, so I am done with my patient work for the day. I'm done seeing patients and I decided I wanted to change out of my scrubs when I got home. So hey, there you go, my scrubs are gone. But I still have work I need to do, and this is not school work, this is not like studying work, this is just other stuff I have to do on the side. So for example, I have meetings today for research projects that I'm working on. I have meetings today for some groups and some clubs I'm in that I have to do things for. And yes, even in medical school we have clubs. Okay, we still have clubs. I'm just gonna log on to Zoom, attend these meetings, and then hopefully once I'm done, we can make some coffee or we can talk about something else. The thing is, I really like coffee and I love drinking coffee, but I also like making coffee, and I just like all the science behind it, like making the crema and how there's CO2 in the crema of the coffee. Yeah, so I'm like a coffee nerd, and we had this old espresso machine that we were using, which was a beast. I loved it. It was great, you know, it made amazing coffee for what it was, and it wasn't that expensive. But recently for my birthday, my wife got me this bad boy. Look at this. It's all pure stainless steel. I don't know if it's pure stainless steel, but it is pretty cool, right? It's amazing, and it makes some of the best coffee, especially when you get freshly roasted coffee beans. That is so important because I was trying to make really good coffee with stale beans, and guys, let me tell you something, it does not work. It comes out horrible. But hey, now I can make myself some coffee and I'll save some money, hopefully. But I'm already in so much debt that it really doesn't matter anymore because I'm gonna be broke. Alright, so a lot of people don't know this, but when I was in college, I actually ended up getting several C's, and the people who do know me and who know that I got into medical school often ask me later, how did I go from getting a lot of C's to getting into medical school, getting accepted in medical school on my first try? And that's a very valid question because I'm sure there's people out there, maybe it's you, maybe it's your friend, but I'm sure there's people out there just like me who are concerned, who are worried that they're not going to get accepted in medical school because they got one or they got a few C's or they don't have the best GPA. And I want to tell you, number one, it's doable because if I can do it, you can do it. But number two, if you believe in yourself and your capacity to learn and get good grades, but you also work hard, if you do those two things hand in hand, in tandem, you're gonna do really well and you're gonna succeed. And that's what I often told myself. And look, here I am, I got into medical school and you know, I'm living the life. So a lot of people would ask me how I did it. So this is essentially my pathway or my thought process. When it comes to me getting a bad grade, when I got it either in a quiz, in a test or a midterm, or in the class, I would always reevaluate why I got that bad grade. And often I realized it fit under one of two categories or one or two criteria. Number one, either I didn't understand the concept at all, meaning like I just didn't know what was going on, or number two, I didn't master the concept. I didn't actually get a good enough grasp on that content to be able to pass, but pass well and get a good grade. And when I realized if it was a problem with one or the other, I would be able to tackle that issue and improve my understanding in general and get a good grade. So let's talk about the first category. In the first category, let's say you just don't understand the content. So what can you do to improve your outlook, to improve your grade? Well, the first thing you should do is get some help. It's okay to get help. A lot of us are afraid to go to office hours. A lot of us think that, oh, what is the professor gonna think? They're gonna think I'm stupid, I don't know anything. It's okay. Go to your TA or your professor's office hours and make sure you utilize that time that they have to spend on you, the time that they have allocated to teach, and learn something. That is very valuable, that is very important. Often I realize that if I didn't get something in a lecture, I would go to office hours and it would help me understand better, and I could ask more questions on the spot rather than in a lecture hall with 500 people or in a Zoom call with like 100 people, right? You don't want to take up all their time. But in office hours, you can ask those direct questions and get a better understanding of the concepts that you are studying, that you're learning. That's the first thing. Number two, if that didn't help out, if me going to office hours for my TA professor wasn't helpful to me, I would then go on YouTube and I would learn from someone else. The beauty of YouTube is that at this point, in this day and age, there is a video for every single topic out there. And not everyone teaches the same. Everyone has different styles of teaching, and you're gonna realize that you're gonna like one person's teaching over another, and it might help you learn better. That's where YouTube is so powerful, because there's so many people teaching at the same time on this platform. You can go and watch their video. The same concept that your professor might have presented to you, you can watch it on YouTube and it might stick better. And that's what I often did. If I found out that going to the professor wasn't helpful or going to TA didn't help me as much, I would go on YouTube and relearn something. I'd look at a different video, maybe see it from a different viewpoint so it sticks better and maybe it improves my understanding. Often that would help, and I would just have to stop there. Now, the third thing in this category is repetition. If you have the ability to re-watch or re-look at your slides, or just, repeat the content over and over again, I guarantee you it's gonna stick better and it's gonna stick in your brain better. And that's very important, because repetition is gonna help you pick out those small nitty details you might not have seen the first time or the second time around, okay? Now, the repetition actually brings us into the second category as well, when you're struggling with mastering the content, right? So maybe you understand the concept, maybe you understand the equation, or you understand the biologic pathway that you're learning, but you haven't actually mastered it. It doesn't matter at that point if you understand it, because when you get tested on it, you have to have mastered it to get a good grade. So what can you do to improve your understanding? What can you do to master that content? The first thing you should do is repeat, right? Repeat that stuff over and over again. If it's a video, watch it over and over again. If it is a lecture, reread that lecture over and over again. The reason why is the same reason I gave for the previous category where you don't understand a concept. The more you see something, the more it's gonna stick in your brain, and the more you're gonna be able to pick out those nitty-gritty details that you've missed the first time around, okay? That's very important. So that's the first tip I can give. Number two, do questions. The questions that you do in preparation for your exams are going to be very important, because they're not going to be testing you, or they're not going to be teaching you the content. They're actually going to be testing you on your understanding of the content, and that's very, very important. When you get tested, right? When you take a test, when you take a midterm, when you take a final exam, they're looking at how well you have actually understood, but how well you have actually mastered the content. So if you on your own go ahead and take a question bank and actually go through it, depending on what subject you're doing, but you go through those questions, or you go through those equations, or you go through those problems, and you practice and you actually apply your understanding, you apply that knowledge, you're gonna do so much better when it comes to your final examination. And that I can guarantee, because I've done so much. When I would be taking a bio test, when I would be taking a math test, I would go through a test bank that was available to me, or I would go through questions or equations, and I'd work through those concepts so they stick better in my brain. It helps me master the content better. And when it comes to the actual test, often I would realize, oh, maybe I saw this question in a similar format, not exactly the same, but something similar, so I know where to start, I know where to go. The third thing, and the very last thing, is going to be the hardest thing to do when it comes to mastering the content to get good grades, and that is going to be teaching someone. Because if you can teach your friend that concept that you're both struggling in, that means that you have mastered it. Your friend is going to have questions about it, and they're going to ask you, because they're going to naturally think, oh, you already know what's going on, you can help me. Even if you don't know what's going on, their questions might help you actually understand it even better than you trying to learn it on your own. So if you can teach someone and help them understand, I guarantee you, you're really close to mastering, if not already mastered the content that you are learning. Now that was the educational side. There are also many other components. A lot of it is like time management. I would make sure that I had enough time to study. I would make sure that I didn't, waste time doing other things. I spent countless hours in the library and in our pre-med studying spaces just studying, and it sucked, but I had to do it. So I gave myself enough time. I managed my time with my extracurricular activities with my friends and my family to make sure I succeeded. So yeah, those are some of the ways that I went from getting C's to getting into medical school. Alright, so I hope this helped some of you guys out, especially if you're wondering, if I have C's and D's, can I still get into medical school? Is it even possible? The answer is yes, and I just showed you a little bit of how you can do it. If you like this content, consider giving it a thumbs up. It really helps us out with the YouTube algorithm. And if you want me to cover a specific topic, leave a comment below, because I try to go through all the comments, and I will definitely try to cover all the questions you guys have in video or answer the comments directly. And if you guys like this type of videos, if you guys like seeing what my life is like as a medical student and you want to see more, consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. It's a brand new channel, and I know we got a ways to go, but your support really means a lot to me, and I really appreciate it. Also, you can connect with me on my other social media accounts, on TikTok at MadMedicine and on Instagram at mad.medicine. I like to post a lot of behind the scenes stuff there. I like to post a lot of other educational and pre-med advice on both my accounts, and it's just some fun stuff I like to do on the side, so you can check me out there. But right now, I gotta get back to studying, because the grind never stops. So I'll see you guys back here real soon. Take it easy and stay safe, fam.